Hey, it's Dr. Karen Kan. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And this week we are diving into the topic of interdimensional travel while you sleep. Now, before we begin this very interesting topic, if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so every time I have a new video, you will be notified. And of course, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. So this week's topic on the Spiritual Medicine Digest is interdimensional travel. Now, how this all started was that a number of weeks ago, I suddenly had some back discomfort. Like out of the blue, there was nothing in particular that I was doing out of the ordinary. I knew it was metaphysical rather than a real physical issue. I had absolutely no worry that it was anything pathological or disease or anything like that. And what was very interesting to me was that it felt like I had low minerals, like suddenly low minerals. This reminded me of when I had gone in 2005 to Germany for my very first international figure skating event. And at that time, I took the red-eye flight and didn't have a lot of sleep, during that time. And I got this kind of back pain, which is the kind of back pain that if you move just the right way, you feel like something's jabbing you or tweaking you. I now know that that symptom, for me personally anyway, means that I'm mineral deficient. Now, lately I've been eating fairly well. There was no reason for mineral deficiency. That being said, I muscle tested and found out that I did need to take more minerals. Now, you can also, if you need to take more minerals too, think about downloading those frequencies to you. And oftentimes this works for me and I don't need to take extra minerals. This was not the case. And what was very curious about this back pain was that it would get better throughout the day. Now, you've probably met lots of people that complain about back pain, right? They usually, can't work, or they have some sort of disability, or it gets, worse as they walk or stand or stuff like that. Well, for me, it was like the opposite, which again reminded me, hey, this really isn't physical. This is probably metaphysical. So it would get better as I took minerals, as I moved my body, as I warmed my body. And if I just laid still, there was no pain. It was just kind of these, movements. I was like, that's interesting. So I put on my spiritual investigator hat and tried to figure out what was going on. However, there was part of me that was like, just experience this, Karen, and see what it's like. So I honestly didn't actually work that hard figuring out what it was. I did figure out that mineral piece, and I did notice that I was taking more and more minerals per day and decided I was going to divine muscle test exactly how much mineral force and mag force, which are my favorite ones to take every single day, how many capfuls, So it went from my regular 1 capful to 5 a day, which is quite a bit. I thought, wow, the last time I had to take that much was when I was first starting to clear entities, and I was doing all this spiritual work. So I was like, what is going on at night that I wake up with back pain? Now, I didn't seem to be waking up extra tired or anything like that. Mind you, I'm a sleep hog, so I love sleep. So I can sleep a long time, and I've been like that since childhood. So I thought I would ask my mentor, Marcus Bird, and we are in level 2 of dimensional therapy. It absolutely is fantastic, very esoteric, mind you, and it perfectly, combines with my TOLPAKAN healing method, like, oh my gosh, so well. And I got to volunteer the other day, and I said, hey, would love to volunteer for you to do a little mini reading and adjustment on me. So that's what happened. And so I explained the issue without telling him too much, except that I noticed I've been taking more minerals. And he's like, yes, I know that one. So that's interesting. And then the first thing that popped into his mind, he's very intuitive, was interdimensional travel. And then when he said that, I was like, yep. Like there was a part of me that already knew that, but kind of needed not needed, but preferred like some sort of confirmation that I'm not crazy. that somebody else thinks the same way I do. So He was like, huh, I really believe you're doing interdimensional travel and it's for healing purposes. And of course, that's one of the reasons that we do things at night as sensitive souls and as light workers. Sometimes we help when we sleep at night. So that is not unusual at all. Now, I do have a clearing slash, investigative protocol to check sleep realms. And what was very interesting was that I do not have a question in my protocol around interdimensional travel because it wasn't that relevant before. Didn't think about it. I had questions related to brainwave states and astral travel and things like that. Kind of general, I know. But interdimensional travel, I did not have that specific question. So after I found out that's what I'm doing, it dawned on me that this may take quite a bit of energy for someone in a human body to be able to do all that work at night. And what Marcus explained to me with some of the assessments that we did was that I was helping to support, heal, whatever you want to call it, the spiritual body of more than just me, others as well. It could be all of humanity, sensitive souls, we didn't get into all the details. But so I was helping a contingent of beings evolve their spiritual body to a more awakened state. So that makes sense. So the home play that he gave me was number 1 is to jot my dreams down. That may be really helpful. And number 2, which I have not done yet because literally I'm recording this the day after he worked with me, is to figure out how maybe I can do that work while I'm awake, which is easier than while I'm sleeping. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, so I wonder whether you're doing interdimensional travel when you sleep as well. So a very simple thing, if you know TOLPAKAN healing and you know divine muscle testing, is just asking that. So how true is it that on most nights while I am asleep that I am doing interdimensional travel? And then you can also ask, is this for my highest and greatest good? Yes or no, right? And if it is for yes, oftentimes it's part of your mission or part of a mini mission, I like to say, which is a small part of your bigger mission. And then if you are having some symptoms, either being very tired in the morning, sleepless nights, or like me, having back pain or symptoms of mineral deficiency causing back pain, then you may want to check in to see if you are getting enough chi or energy flow in the body in order to do that kind of work at night. Or even you can even ask if you need to do it at night, because maybe you don't. And these are things that I'm going to be exploring for myself in the very near future. In the meantime, what I'd love for you to do is if you feel like you are doing interdimensional travel at night, and if you have some sort of amazing coping mechanism to do that, please share that in the comments. Or if you don't know what you're doing and you're having some symptoms, that's okay too. Go ahead and share that as well. Let's share and let's see what we come up with to help each other as a community. Now, this week's TOLPAKAN Healing Activation is based on my little conversation with Source around, okay, so if we are doing interdimensional travel at night while we sleep, a sensitive soul, some of us, how can we do that with more comfort? More efficiency, that's safer for our physical bodies, so we don't have to spend all the day recovering and then have it all happen again at night. And the answer I got was there are three key things. And we're going to do some TOLPAKAN healing activation today on it. See if that helps you in case you are one of those souls that are doing interdimensional travel like I am. So one key is your ability to receive chi, which is life force and energy from source. And that includes, to operate your system, whether you are helping others detox or yourself or, whatever it is. Because the ascension process is already, for some of us, pretty heavy duty. In other words, there's a lot of energy that is required for that. But what if, instead of using our own personal energy, we could just receive extra energy from source directly, from this 0-point field directly, to be used for that purpose and not have to go through the middleman, if you know what I mean. So that's number 1. Number 2 is minerals. So in the physical body, we do require minerals for a lot of different enzymatic and other types of reactions. And minerals are really like little crystals. maybe little crystal antennas. You could see them as those as well. So from time to time, we may need to take extra minerals. So you can certainly muscle test that, which minerals, how much, for how long, etc. But one of the things you can do also is to vibrate and download the frequencies of the minerals you need. Now, you may still need to take more minerals, but the dose may be lower if you can do this. And also make sure that the processing of your minerals, that is absorption, utilization, assimilation, concentration, and distribution of each of those minerals that you use in a human body is optimized. So we're going to do an activation related to that. And third and final, some dimensional support. Now, if you're doing interdimensional travel when you're sleeping at night, one of the things that Source shared with me when I asked, how can we do this better, safer, more efficiently, without the pain, without the symptoms, was that if you can stabilize some of your dimensional anatomy, that would really help. So specifically, there are 6 pyramids, if you will. Actually, there are 6 octahedrons, meaning there's 2 pyramids base on base, that are spinning in these areas of your body. Now, this is described by Marcus Bird through the dimensional therapy course that I'm in, and the energy that we use for healing is called 𝗪𝗚𝗛𝗚 energetics. So you may not see this anywhere else because it's from an off-world being that we learned this, so it's not exactly on the internet. Anyhow, so these octahedrons are in these locations. Okay, now I'm going to write this down. So it's in the head, throat, heart, dantian, which is right below your belly button, between the knees, and between the ankles. And these pyramids spin. And they spin in opposing directions because it's more stable that way. And the more stable these pyramids are within your body, the healthier in general, the healthier and more stable you are, especially through the ascension process. So Marcus has a pyramid meditation, which you're more than welcome to partake in. His Heart of the Matrix Facebook group, that's what it's called, Heart of the Matrix, is where we do live meditations with Marcus and his ambassadors on a regular basis. So that would be super helpful. And the other thing we can do is, if you muscle test, you could probably check whether the directionality of each of these, 6 octahedron, well then 12 pyramids are spinning in the right direction, and whether they're as stable and fast as they could be. Now, there are lots of different intricacies of, why aren't they stable and yada yada. So I'm not going to get into that because I'm not, a teacher of dimensional therapy. But what we can do is do an intention and TOLPAKAN healing activation to see if we can, if allowed by Source, spin the pyramids as effectively or efficiently as possible in the direction they're supposed to spin. Therefore, you would have some support dimensionally. So when you go into your sleep realms, that you will feel better coming out of it, if that makes sense. If you do divine muscle testing, definitely check, how stable these octahedrons are in these 6 locations and how maximally spinning they are. Now, they may not maximally spin if they're not stable. So there's, like I said, lots of intricacies on how you can evaluate all that in dimensional therapy. But for the time being, we're going to go through this activation. What I want you to do is just notice what your body is feeling. So you can close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so, as I do the TOLPAKAN healing activation, and let me know in the comments afterwards what that feels like. So let's start. Okay, so let's rub our hands together just to get some energy and chi flowing. This is a great way to do stillness through observing internal movement, which is my version of meditation and gets us all into the 0-point field. And then stop, close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so. Focus on the inside of your body, feel the movement in your hands and arms, etc. And just follow that flow for a moment and continue following that flow while I speak the TOLPAKAN healing activations. I now command that the positive morphic field of being able to fully receive chi and energy from Source, from the 0-point field, be downloaded and activated in you and all versions of you in the highest and best way. And anything preventing this be healed. It's now commanded that all your minerals in your body be fully processed and be able to be fully processed in all ways possible in all timelines where you exist. It's now commanded that if you are deficient in any mineral, that you be able to right now download and activate those frequencies and vibrations of those specific minerals that you need right now for optimal maximum health and function. I now command that you receive dimensional support in the form of whatever it is that's needed to keep those 6 octahedrons, pyramids, spinning in the correct direction at the speed that is for your highest and greatest good for maximal stability, to help your resonant energy field be stable. Okay, so go ahead and just notice your body, how that feels. And now command this healing be integrated and grounded with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way. For this and all of our blessings, we give our thanks and gratitude. So be it, and so it is. Okay, and if you have your eyes closed, you can open them now. Go ahead and put in the comments below, how did that feel? What did you notice in your body? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. It's all good. And if you're not interdimensionally traveling at night, lucky you. No, just kidding. It's all good. You can still receive, right? These are things that are positive things that you can still receive, even if you're not one of the folks that are doing this kind of healing work at night, and specifically the interdimensional travel. So I hope that was fun for you, because it was fun for me kind of figuring this stuff out. And I want to thank my mentor Marcus Bird for letting us know what's going on with some of us sensitive souls. So with some announcements for this week on Monday's Light Warrior Radio Show, I have the wonderful opportunity to interview Elena Chapman, and she is a spiritual teacher, 2-time international best-selling author, and we're going to be talking about living from your soul, as opposed to from fear or, places of anxiety or worry. And what about living not from the ego? Is that even possible? I don't know. But she's going to work her magic by integrating the wisdom of age-old practices with scientific data. I love data. So if you're interested in learning how to live from your soul, check us out Monday at 12 noon Eastern on Light Warrior Radio. I'll put the link near this video. You can join us live. You can even call in live and speak to Elena as well. Maybe get some mini coaching. That's always super fun. So that's Monday at 12 noon Eastern. And remember, we did change time zones, blah, 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 with the time change. So in case you're in Europe or Australia or some other place, just keep in mind that the time zones have changed since last week. A couple of announcements. The Ascension 3 launch, that's for my jewelry, pyramids and things like that, is ongoing just for a couple more days. This is going to be our last opening of Ascension 3 store until 2023. I'm not really sure when we're launching then, but it's going to be the last opening. There's a lot of things on sale. In fact, it's sort of like, what do they call it? A fire sale or something like that. It's like there's a final closeouts on a lot of things, because we are going to limit our inventory in the future, and we really want to clear out a lot of the inventory. So some of the things that you will see is the last time we are going to have them in the store. Those are the sale items. So if you're interested in that, go to ascension3.net and check it out. Make great gifts, and if you happen to be in the USA, you should get them well before Christmas. So hint, hint, some awesome gifts for people, energy infused to help you with, what would you do if you had a magic wand, right? So we're going to teach you how to do all of that. So the other big announcement is on Tuesday. Now, let me just see what day that is. That is the 15th, yes. So Tuesday, November 15th, 4 p.m. Eastern, I have my long-awaited interview with Darius on UWealth Revolution. We are going to be talking about relationship magic for sensitive souls. Now, you might think we're going to be talking about like romantic love or relationships with your parents. Yeah, sort of, but not really. What I'm talking about is that if you think about it, everything in our reality is a relationship with each other. That means not just relationship between you and another person, but you and the earth, you and the cosmos, you and your pet, you and an electromagnetic frequency, you and an entity. Like these are all relationships. And what we found with, at least what I found, working with thousands and thousands, of healing one-on-ones, is that these relationships are really crucial. In fact, the relationship between me and my pendulum, years and years, decades, I never could use a pendulum. And then I discovered that if I balance the relationship between me and a pendulum I want to use, I can instantly use it for divination. Like cool, right? So we're going to be talking about number one, how I test for these sorts of things. Number two, why you need to heal and restore all your 7 boundaries if you want to stay sane. Number three, how to do level 1 transformational telepathy. That is one form of smoothing over human relationships. And I'm going to be doing a specific group healing and helping you download the core relationship harmonizer and boundary booster blueprints. Okay, and then you're going to learn about the 4 P's of relationship transformations, kind of a 4P formula, and I'll be launching a brand new 4-module program called the Relationship Healer Harmonizer on You Wealth That Day, and as per usual, it is going to be at a hugely great value price, let's put it that way, as I do very few live live and on Zoom trainings and healings these days. So if you're interested in doing live healing with me, definitely check out that program. So if you're not already on the UWealth Revolution email list to get that specific link for the call that day, definitely join right now. And we'll also remind you, if you are part of the Light Medicine community on Circle, we have a calendar there, so we'll remind you when that call is starting. And last but not least, I have a new video on the Healthy Habits, Healthy Life playlist series. This last one is around watching words, which I know sounds rather weird, but it's around the language or conscious language concepts. Now, I am a student of conscious language. I don't pretend to be good at it. In fact, I just did a whole bunch of words that probably were not in alignment with conscious language. So it's not yet quite a habit. However, there is some really cool things that I am working on and would love to share with you. So in case you're interested to know how to manifest your dreams even faster and easier than ever before, check out that video. I'll put that link near this video or underneath it. Again, if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please share it with those that you love and who are like-minded. And hit the notification bell too if you'd like to get alerted about when the next time I am here live. So until next time, bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me this week.